Welcome to Miller Park in Milwaukee. Brewers and Phillies about set to get a 3-game weekend series underway. Zach Davies, right-hander for the Brewers, all set to work. Just underway from Milwaukee. Zach Davies ready. Odubel Herrera is in there. The wind and the pitch. Swing and a foul back over the netting and out of play. And it's 0-1 on Herrera. Herrera hitting .255 into tonight's action. A homer, 6 runs batted in. Aaron Hill 10 feet off the line at third for the left-handed hitter. And the pitch. Off the outside corner for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's the count on Herrera, the Phillies center fielder, leading things off here tonight. To be followed by Galvis and Franco. The pitch. Swing and a miss. That was a Zach Davies fastball at 89. And it's ball 1 and strike 2. Now the third baseman, Aaron Hill, will back up. Lucroy the sign and the target. Davies the wind and the pitch. Skipped up, blocked by Lucroy, and the count will level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. For the Brewers defensively tonight, they've got Ryan Braun in left, Ramon Flores in center, and Domingo Santana is in right field. Davies works from the third base side of the rubber, and the right-hander's pitch. Swung on and hit in the air to left. Braun coming in. He's got a beat on this one, makes the catch for out number 1.
Second batter, the shortstop, Freddie Galvis, number 13.
1 away, here's Freddie Galvis, Phillies shortstop. .241, couple of homers, 6 runs batted in for Galvis. He's a switch hitter. He'll bat left-handed against the right-handed slants of Zach Davies. Davies in his second start of the year. And he delivers a fastball high and wide for ball 1. Behind him on the infield tonight, Aaron Hill mans the hot corner defensively. Up the middle, it's Jonathan VR at short, Scooter Gennett at second. This one is hit in the air, left center, long run Braun. He'll get there in the alley to make a nice running catch for out number 2.
Third, number 7, third baseman.
Galvis gone, 2 away. Here's Michael Franco. Chris Carter at first base. And Zach Davies throws to Jonathan Lucroy to round out the Brewers defensively. Brewers come in 5 games behind the Cubs. Both the Phillies and Brewers are 7-9. The wind and the pitch by Davies. Outside a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Davies took a loss back on Sunday in Pittsburgh. He lasted just 2 1/3. There's a strike. Rob Drake said so. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Franco hitting .241, couple of homers, 5 runs batted in. And he swings and misses at a good Zach Davies changeup. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Davies working quickly here in the opening inning. Roof and panels closed here at Miller Park. Lights are on. Cool night outside. Nice inside. Broken bat. Line drive over Jonathan VR's head and into left for a 2-out single for Franco. Here comes Ryan Howard as the inning stays alive for the Phillies here in the first. Game's first base runner, 2 outs. Phillies batting here in the top of the first, just underway for Miller Park. It was a cool day here in Milwaukee. Temperature in the mid-50s under nice sunshine all day. But inside Miller Park, roof and panels closed. Davies working from the stretch. Carter holds Franco, and Howard looks at a ball outside. Cameron Rupp would bat next for the Phillies if Howard's able to reach. Crowd still making their way into the ballpark. Franco has not attempted a steal. He's got a 3-step lead. He's not running, and Howard beats the shift as he slams one into right. Santana will play it back in, and it's back-to-back 2-out base hits by Franco and Howard. And here comes Cameron Rupp, the Phillies catcher. Jonathan Lucroy out to have a couple of words with Davies. In that start in Pittsburgh, Davies went 2 1/3. He gave up 6 runs, 5 of which were earned. Didn't strike out a batter. He walked 3. Gave up 8 hits. And the Pirates won that game. Back on Sunday, that was the series finale in Pittsburgh. Pirates won the series 2-1. Brewers have the shift on Rupp. 3 infielders on the left side. The outfield straight away, fairly deep on the Phillies catcher. And he looks at a ball that skipped up to Lucroy. 73-mile-per-hour breaking ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 286 for Rupp. He's got a homer. And that's also his only RBI. Phillies in the traveling road grays tonight. Red piping down the gray trousers. Red caps, red bills. Brewers are in their throwbacks. The white home uniforms. Upstairs a ball. The home unis circa the 1980s. 2-0 on the Phillies catcher. 2 on with 2 out. No score, top of the first. Davies from the belt is ready. His 2-0 home is in for a strike, and it's 2-1. Rob Drake is calling the balls and strikes tonight. Carlos Torres makes the calls at first. Jim Wolf, the veteran, out at second. And Sam Holbrook is making the calls at third. 2 balls a strike. Davies for Rupp, and it's in for a strike, and it's 2-2. Franco leads away from second. Howard likewise from first, neither runner being held. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Davies comes set, and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hot shot up the middle. Jeanette, a diving stab from the outfield grass, throws to first, and he got him! Beautiful play by Scooter Jeanette to rob Cameron Rupp. The shift pays off, and Davies pitches into and out of trouble in the first. Philadelphia, nothing on a couple of hits. They strand 2, and at the end of a half inning from Miller Park, it's the Phillies nothing, and the Brewers coming up. Our game goes to the bottom half of inning number 1 from Miller Park in Milwaukee. Phillies threaten, do not score in the top half. Got a couple of 2-out hits from Franco and Howard, but a beautiful defensive play by Scooter Jeanette, robbing Cameron Rupp and keeping the Phillies off the board. So the Brewers come to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 1. Santana, Jeanette, and Braun. The 3 due up for the Brewers here in the bottom of the first against right-handed pitcher Aaron Nola. His first pitch of the night is in for a strike, and it's 0-1 on Santana. 259, couple of homers, 8 runs batted in for Santana. Nola pitches, and it's inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Aaron Nola on the year, looking for his first victory. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Santana swung very hard at that pitch, and the helmet came off, a la Carlos Gomez. Brewer fans saw that for a few years from Carlos. Santana picking up the baton and running with it. Ball 1, strike 2 on the Brewers' leadoff batter. An imposing figure from the right side. 6'5", 220 pounds. The pitch. Swinging a foul. First base side out of play. Count holds at a ball and 2 strikes. Nola's ERA 5.68. Here's the wind and the pitch. Inside on Santana. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield back, straight up, outfield fairly deep and straight away as Santana swings and fouls towards the Phillies' third base dugout. Brewers have beaten the Phillies 7 straight times. Swept the series in Philadelphia in late June last year. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled into the seats. Second level. Looks like everybody's all right. Count holds at 2-2 on Santana. Then the Phillies were here in August of last year, and the Brewers proceeded to sweep that series. Nola, one of the highly thought of prospects in the Phillies organization. The wind and the pitch. 2-2, swung on and missed. He struck him out. Here comes Scooter Gennett.
Number 2, Scooter Gennett.
Brewers second baseman hitting .260 on the year. 3 homers, 4 runs batted in. He'll dig in from the left side. Aaron Nola, drafted back in June of 2014. He skyrocketed through the Phillies farm system. Here's the wind and the pitch. Strike called, 0-1. He was a first-round selection of the Phillies, 7th overall out of Louisiana State University. Very accomplished pitcher with the Tigers during his college days. He was actually drafted by the Blue Jays as that pitch missed upstairs on Scooter. Ball 1 and strike 1. But out of high school, drafted by the Blue Jays, elected to go to Louisiana State, played baseball for the Tigers there, and then drafted by the Phillies in the first round back in June of 2014. 2 balls and a strike now as Gennett spits on ball 2 away. The third baseman, Franco's, at the cut of the grass and 12 feet off the line. Here's the wind and the pitch. Down low a ball. And it's 3 balls and a strike on Scooter. On base percentage, a very respectable .373 for Scooter. Deep in the box, a crouched straightaway stance. He awaits a 3-1 from Nola. A lot of hitting room in right center for Scooter. And the pitch. Down low for ball 4, and it's a 1-out walk to Scooter Gennett, and the Brewers have a base runner for Ryan Braun. Nola making his 4th start of the year. He got a no decision in Cincinnati back on April the 6th. Went 7 strong. Phillies were swept in that series in Cincinnati to open the season. Howard holding Scooter at first, and the pitch to Braun. It's a strike on the outside corner at the knees, and it's 0-1. Then took a loss to the Padres at Citizens Bank Ballpark on April the 11th. And then last time out, the Nationals cuffed him around pretty good on the 16th. Here's the high set and a quick throw. Gennett back on his belly safely as Howard's tag is late. Infield at double play depth, looking for a ground ball they can turn over. Braun off to a good start this year. He's hitting .333. Second on the club in home runs with 3. He's got 12 RBIs. Nola the high set and the pitch. Braun hits one on the hole into left field. Past Freddie Galvis. Gennett turns second, heads for third. The throw is not in time. Scooter Gennett hustling into third ahead of the throw from the left fielder Darren Ruff, and the Brewers have him at the corners on a seeing eye single through the hole by Ryan Braun. Scooter Gennett hustling all the way. And the Brewers with a scoring opportunity against Nola. Nola working from the stretch to the Brewers catcher. Gennett leading down the line in foul territory at third. Braun, a three-step lead over at first, held by Howard. Nola the set and the right-hander's pitch. Missed in too close on the Brewers catcher, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. 291 for Jonathan. Still looking for his first home run of the year. Does have 5 runs batted in. Infield at double play depth. Outfield a step towards left on Lucroy. And the pitch. There's a strike. That'll leaving the count at a ball and a strike now. Nola is a guy who has excellent command. That's what allowed him to skyrocket through the Phillies farm system. That was his calling card in college as well. Great control, great command of his pitches. Primarily a 3-pitch pitcher with a 3/4 arm slot. Runner's not going, and Lucroy bounces one foul up along third. Ball 1, strike 2 on the Brewers catcher. Nola's not a big guy. Just 6'1", 185. He's a guy that relies heavily on command. He'll throw 92 to 94 with his two-seam fastball. Very similar to Zach Davies. Little bigger, but similar pitcher. Swinging a foul back. Lucroy hangs in at a ball and 2 strikes. He's not afraid to pitch inside. He'll throw any pitch in any count, which makes him very effective. Occasionally he'll throw a 4-seam fastball, but primarily the fastball sits at 92 to 94, and it's the 2-seam variety. He makes his money on his changeup, though. Also features a curve. The pitch, there's that changeup. Swung on and missed. Lucroy down on strikes. It's the second strikeout of the inning for Nola, and with 2 away, here comes the first baseman, Chris Carter. Carter, the club leader in home runs with 4. He's driven in 13 and he's hitting .240. Holds that bat menacingly over his right shoulder and waits for the pitch from Nola. Gennett, the runner at third, Braun at first, and he draws a throw. Chris Carter homered a couple of nights ago against the Twins. Home run here would be 3 runs. It's 1 ball, no strikes as that pitch missed the way to Carter. Right-handed hitting first baseman. 2 outs, 2 on. No score in the first. The stretch and the pitch. In for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chris Carter with prodigious power. Aaron Nola, for the most part, keeps the ball down. He's a ground ball pitcher, so to elevate him will be a challenge. The pitch. Swung on, line drive, base hit right field. Gennett plateward with the game's first run on an RBI 2-out hit from Carter. Braun stops at second, and it's 1-0 Milwaukee.
Batter, number 9. baseman Aaron Hill.
2-out RBI hit for Carter. His 14th run batted in of the year. And here's Aaron Hill. 2 on, 2 out for the Brewers' third baseman. 1-0 Brewers. Opening game, 3-game weekend series. The check of the lead runner Braun and the pitch home from Nola. Down low the ball. Hits are even at 2 apiece now. So the 1-out walk to Scooter Gennady. He works his way around the base paths and scores the game's first run. Nola sets. The 1-0 to Aaron Hill. Strike called, 1-1. Defensively for the Phillies tonight, they've got Darren Ruff in left field, Odubel Herrera in center, David Lowe in right. Michael Franco's at third, Freddie Galvis the shortstop, Cesar Hernandez at second, and Ryan Howard is at first. Nola throws to Cameron Rupp. The pitch. There's that changeup again. Aaron Hill way out in front, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Couple of ducks on the pond. Aaron Hill trying to pick them up. Be nice to hang a nice crooked number on the board here in the first. Brewers have one. They're looking for more. Nola for Hill. The pitch. Hit on the ground. 2 hops to third. Easy play for Franco. He'll take it to the bag to force Braun and end the inning. But the Brewers do score once on a couple of hits. They strand 2, and at the end of 1 in Milwaukee, Brewers 1, Phillies nothing. We go to the top half of inning number 2 from Miller Park in Milwaukee. Brewers 1, Phillies nothing. 2-out RBI hit from Chris Carter, staking Zach Davies to the early lead. He is set for his second inning of work. He worked the scoreless frame in the first as he worked around a couple of hits. The pitch. Swung on and fouled back by David Lowe, the left-handed hitting right fielder. And it's 0-1. Lowe, Ruff, and Nola, 6, 7, and 8 to eyeball Zach Davies here in the top half of inning number 2. The pitch. And it's down low for a ball. Count will level at a ball and a strike now on David Lowe. Phillies coming off of a 5-5 homestand. Swung on, fisted. Shallow left. VR can't get there. He'll pick it on a hop and fire it back towards the infield, and it's a leadoff single for the Phillies right fielder.
7th batter, number 18, the left fielder.
There were a lot of those types of hits in Pittsburgh against Davies. Seeing eye singles, little bleeders, bloopers. And ultimately it led to a tough outing for the young right-hander. Acquired last year from the Orioles in the trade for Gerardo Parra. Parra now applying his talents in the Rockies. The set by Davies and the pitch to Darren Ruff. Down low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies already with 3 hits in the ball game. Ruff hitting just 111 on the year. He's 2 out of his first 20. Right-handed batter. Here's the set. Davies will go to first. Token tag by Carter late. Lowe has a steal on the year. 3 infielders on the left side for Darren Ruff. The outfield fairly shallow, and they play him as a pull hitter. So a lot of hitting room down the right field line and in right center. The runner goes, and the pitch is swung on and fouled towards Aaron Nola, the on-deck hitter. Davies made a couple of starts in Colorado Springs, at Memphis and at Nashville. He worked 9 innings over those 2 starts. Gave up a couple of runs earned on 6 hits. Brewers needing a 5th starter. They pulled up Zach Davies. Still Matt Garza on the deck, or on the DL. Runner not going this time, and the pitch missed off the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Davies looking in. A right-hander comes set. And the pitch with the runner going. Swung on and hit foul. Right side, out of play to the second level. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1-0 Brewers. Another night game for you tomorrow at 6:10. Series finale is on Sunday afternoon. That game will get underway at 1:10. Carter continues to hold low. His leadoff single, he's at first. Top of the second, Phillies batting, they're down a run. The set by Davies. And a throw over to first. With Carter holding the runner at first, and with Scooter Gennett playing on the shortstop side as second, Darren Ruff has about 90 feet of space between defenders on the right side of the Brewer infield. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on a changeup. The first strikeout of the game for Zach Davies. And now here's Aaron Nola, who in all likelihood will be bunting here.
For every strikeout by a Brewers pitcher at Miller Park.
David Lowe, the runner at first, with 1 away for Nola. This is his 6th at-bat of the year. He has struck out in the previous 5.
The next batter is the pitcher, 27, Aaron Nola.
A crouched straightaway stance. He's up in the box and waiting. Rests that black bat on the back of his shoulder. Now he squares the bunt. And Davies missed outside. They came charging in at the corners. But Nola took a ball wide for ball 1. Cesar Hernandez is the number 9 hitter, and he's on deck for the Phillies. Low with good speed. 3-step lead. Aaron Hill on the grass at third. And the pitch. Trying to get it down. He bunted it foul at the plate, and it evens the count at a ball and a strike. Phillies just finished off their opening homestand, a 10-gamer. The Padres were in for 4, the Nationals for 3, and the Mets for 3. Phillies had the day off yesterday. They went 5-5 on the homestand, and now they're in the process of playing 16 of the next 19 on the road. The runner goes. The throw down to second is in time for the out. Lucroy with a laser to VR, and it's 2-6 on the caught stealing. The pitch was called a ball, but there's 2 away with Nola still up there. That was a great throw from Lucroy to cut down David Lowe, who runs pretty well. Bases clean, 2 outs. 1-0 Brewers in the pitch. Off the outside corner, 3 balls and a strike. It's the last thing Davies wants to do here is walk the pitcher. The wind and the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Worm burner out to second. Gennett gobbles it up, sidearms to first. And Nola and the Phillies are turned away in the second. They get nothing. A leadoff single by the boards with the caught stealing. Nobody left. Inning and a half from Miller Park. Scoreboard says Brewers 1, Phillies nothing.
On the scoreboard. All you need.
The Brewers coming to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 2. Looking to add to a 1-0 lead. They got a 2-out RBI hit from Chris Carter in the bottom of the first inning. It's the game's only run to this point. 1-0 Milwaukee. They've been out hit 3-2. Aaron Nola, Zach Davies. A couple of diminutive, soft-tossing right-handers. A couple of youngsters. Just getting their big league careers going. Flores, Davies, and VR here in the bottom half of inning number 2. Brewers lead 1-0. Flores hitting a $161 into action tonight without a homer. 2 runs batted in. Nola gave up a run on a couple of hits in the first. The pitch. Strike called, 0-1. Michael Franco in on the grass at third, 10 feet off the line. Howard back at first. Middle infielders back and straight up. And the pitch. There's a strike. And it's 0-2 on Flores. Bottom 3 in the Brewer lineup here in the bottom half of inning number 2. To do battle with the young right-hander Aaron Nola. From the first base side of the rubber, the right-hander pitches, and it's swung on and sliced foul to the seats down the left field line. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Nola for Flores. The pitch. Low and in the dirt, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nola rocks and fires. Here it is. Swung on. Ground ball. Franco, the third baseman, has it. The toss across is in time to nip the hustling Flores for out number 1. 5-3 on the putout.
The pitcher, number 27, Zach Davies.
1 away, and here's Davies. Aaron Nola for his counterpart. The pitch. There's a strike. 0-1 on Davies. Brewers 1, Phillies 0. Bottom half of inning number 2. And the pitch. There's a strike. Oh and 2, 1 away. Base is empty. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Here's Nola for Davies. Strike 3 call. Davies never took the bat off of his shoulder. And he is the 3rd strikeout for Aaron Nola in the ball game tonight. Here's the Brewers shortstop, Jonathan VR. Nola started his professional career after getting drafted in Clearwater. That's Florida State High Class A. Here's the pitch. Outside of ball. 1 ball, no strikes. The switch hitting, Jonathan VR batting here with 2 away in the 2nd inning. 283, homer. 2 runs batted in for VR. Switch hitter batting from the left side. And he looks at a ball away, and it's 2-0. Made his big league debut last year. Pitched in 13 games for the Phillies and won 6 out of the 8 decisions. The pitch. Check swing. He didn't want to, and he didn't. Palms down. Sam Holbrook making the call on the appeal. And it's 3-0 on VR, trying to extend the inning for Domingo Santana. The wind, the pitch. Strike called. VR was taking all the way at 3-0. And now it's 3-1. Santana lurking in the on-deck circle. He would bat next. Here's the 3-1. Missed away for ball 4. So Nola has 3 strikeouts to go along with a couple of walks.
Domingo Santana.
His other walk was to Scooter Gennett with 1 out in the first inning. And Scooter eventually came around to score the run to make it 1-0 Milwaukee. And that's where we are here in the last of the second. So VR being held by Howard over at first. And the pitch. Santana looks at a strike. Santana, one of the 3 strikeout victims for Aaron Nola. VR leads away from first, and the pitch to Santana is a rocket into left center. It's a base hit. Turning second, heading for third is VR. Santana's going to try to go to second. He will with a headlong dive. The Brewers hustling on the base paths tonight, taking liberties with the Phillies defensively. Scooter did it in the first inning on a base hit to left. Instead of being content with just pulling into second, Scooter Gennett hustled to third, eventually scored. Here, VR and Santana taking liberties. And a base hit now by Scooter would mean a couple of runs.
Scooter Gennett, number 2.
Here's Scooter. He walked and scored in the first. A right-hander, glove on knee, ball on backside. Straightens and pitches. Change up, swung on and missed. Phillies have struggled against the NL Central. Their last 27 games, they've lost 21 of them. Told you the Brewers have won 7 straight against them. The Reds swept a series to start the year at Great American Ballpark. Here's the pitch. Scooter sends a high, lazy pop fly behind third. Out is the shortstop. And Freddie Galvis squeezes it for the final out. Scooter gone, so are the Brewers. In the second, they threaten, do not score. They leave 2. And at the end of 2, it's the Brewers 1 and the Phillies nothing. We go to the top half of inning number 3 from Miller Park in Milwaukee. Brewers 1, Phillies nothing. Cesar Hernandez to open things up for the Phillies. Looks at strike 1 from Zach Davies. Hernandez with good speed. Aaron Hill, the third baseman, in on the grass as Davies brings home the 1 strike. And he missed in too close. Ball 1, strike 1. Switch hitting Phillies second baseman, hitting .240 without a homer and an RBI. Swung on line drive, almost took Davies' head off. It gets up the middle and into center field where Flores will play it back in. And Hernandez with a sharp line drive single to center to open the third. 9-1-2 for the Phillies here in the third inning. Brewers lead 1-0. 2-out RBI hit by Chris Carter, the game's only run. Davies working from the stretch. Carter holds Hernandez. He's got 1 steal, but he's been caught 3 times. He's got a big lead, and it warrants a throw from Davies. Odubel Herrera flied to Braun and left his first time. He's 0 for 1. The stretch by Davies. And the pitch. Showing bunt and taking high and wide for ball 1. Hernandez, Herrera, Galvis for the Phillies in the third. Brewers will be out in Philadelphia to open the month of June. They will play a 4-game series at Citizens Bank Ballpark. It's the only 4 games on the road for the Brewers over a 2-week stretch. Lucroy set up behind the plate. Davies goes to first. Aaron Hill expecting a bunt from the fleet-footed Herrera. Third baseman is in on the grass at third. Middle infielders are at double play depth, and again Davies to first. Hernandez likes to run, but he has struggled to steal bases here in the early going. Tomorrow night, 6:10 start time. Charlie Morton against Chase Anderson. Here's the stretch. The runner not going. Check swing, he went. Herrera. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the series finale, Jared Eichhoff, one of the highly touted Philly prospects, will take the ball for Pete Mackanin against Willie Peralta. Peralta was better his last time out. He'll look to build off of that last start against the Twins. The set and the pitch with the runner going is high and wide. Lucroy, another laser, and he got him. Make it 1 out of 5 for Cesar Hernandez. Lucroy got a right arm, and it is loose and firing tonight. Another absolute laser. That time he got a great pitch to throw on. It was a high and wide fastball. It pulled him to the right side, and he fired it down and in time for the out. So 1 away. Leadoff single by Hernandez is erased, and time is called. 2 balls and a strike now on Herrera, who bats with the bases empty, with 1 away in the third. Milwaukee leads 1-0. The pitch. And it's off the outside corner for a ball. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high pop fly, shallow left center. A trio of Brewers converging, but it's going to be the left-handed center fielder making a one-handed grab. And Ramon Flores squeezes it for out number 2.
Freddie Galvis, 13.
2 outs. Here's Galvis. He lined to Braun and left his first time. Galvis, very similar to the Brewers situation in that the Phillies have a can't-miss, highly touted prospect knocking on the big league door. So he's just keeping the seat warm until the Phillies decide to bring up J.P. Crawford. The pitch. And it's a breaking ball outside for ball 1. Of course, the Brewers have Orlando Arcia knocking on the door. J.P. Crawford, according to the baseball experts, even better than Arcia. Outside, 2-0. JP is the top-rated shortstop. Arcia is number 2 behind him. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. So you know that this is a trade chip for the Phillies. Freddie Galvis is a good ball player. Plays a premium position. He's got good speed, good defender, switch hitter. Down low a ball, 3 balls and a strike. Galvis kind of took over from Jimmy Rollins as the stopgap, and he ended up having a really good season last year. Here's the 3-1. Swinging a high pop fly. Aaron Hill, Jonathan VR, all giving chase, and it's 1 row into the seats down the left field line. But Galvis last year, 263 for the Phillies. It was his first year as the full-time starter as Jimmy Rollins headed off to the Dodgers. hit 7 home runs, knocked in 50. Had 10 steals, plays a very good defensive shortstop. They will trade him, I'm sure, at some point this year, and they'll bring back a prospect or two. He's a good player. Holds the bat down on the end. And the payoff is inside for ball 4. Not what Zach Davies wanted to do, because now he's got the big boppers in that Philly lineup. And they've got a couple of good ones. This being one of them, Maikel Franco. Off to a tepid start at 241. And just a couple of homers. But he is a big-time power threat. 1-0 Milwaukee in the third. Galvis with good speed. He has a steal in his only try this year. 4-step lead at first, held by Carter. Davies' pitch home is tomahawked on the ground to Scooter Gennett. Playing behind the bag at second, he fields and throws to first, and Franco is gone on one pitch. Franco gone, so are the Phillies in the third. They get nothing on a hit, strand 1, and at the end of 2.5 from Milwaukee, Brewers still lead. It's 1-0.
United States, Canada.
Here we go to the bottom half of inning number 3 from Milwaukee. 1-0 Brewers. A 2-out RBI hit by Chris Carter in the bottom of the first inning. The game's only run. Aaron Nola, Zach Davies doing battle here in the opener of a 3-game weekend series. Phillies' only trip to Milwaukee this year. The wind and the pitch. Outside a ball. Braun singled to left his first time. Aaron Nola from the first base side. Rocks and fires. Strike called. That'll even the count at 1-1 strike. Braun, Lucroy, Carter. That's a formidable third inning for Aaron Nola. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul. Right side out of play. It's 1-2 strikes on Ryan. The heavy artillery for the Brewers. It's 3-4-5 against Nola here in the third. Phillies have out-hit the Brewers 4-3, but the Brewers lead at the pay window. It's 1-0. The wind and the pitch. Low and away for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Braun planting that right foot right on the very back line of the batter's box. Now digs in, holds the bat over his right shoulder. An outside target. Nola pitches. Swung on, bouncer over the mound near second. Charging Galvis. Picks from the infield grass. He will throw in time for the out. Nicely done by Freddie Galvis. Talking about him defensively, next half inning, there was a very nice defensive play. 1 away, here's Lucroy. Lucroy, a strikeout victim. That was back in the opening inning. Right-handed hitting catcher. The pitch. And it's a strike called. It's 0-1. Aaron Nola's older brother, Austin, is a middle infielder in the Marlins organization. He, too, a former LSU Tiger. Inside a ball. 1 strike. Of course, you got the Seegers. Got a lot of baseball families. Here's the wind and the pitch. Lucroy swings and sends a high fly, playable out in right field. Lowe is camping, and a couple of feet in front of the warning track, he squeezes it for out number 2.
Next batter, the first baseman, Chris Carter, 33.
High fly to the off-field for Lucroy. He's out number 2, and here comes Carter. 2 up and 2 down for the Brewers' first baseman. So those must have been some good backyard battles. Aaron against Austin. Aaron is 22, Austin 25. The pitch. And Carter looks at a strike on the outside corner at the knees. It's 0-1. Well, how fun would that be to have a nice little sibling rivalry? Aaron goes out, takes the ball, throwing to Austin. Pretty good battles, I would imagine, down in Louisiana. Half swing strike, it's 0-2. Three infielders on the left side as Carter bats with 2 strikes and 2 outs in the third. Brewers clinging to a 1-0 lead, and Carter looks at a ball high from Aaron Nola. They talk about Aaron Nola, his demeanor on the mound, his maturity, wise beyond his years. Probably has a lot to do with the battles with his brother. That's going to develop your entire game, not just your physical game. A half swing, another wicked changeup from Nola. He strikes out Carter, makes quick work of the Brewers in the third. Side up, side down. The first of the night for Aaron Nola.
Watch the field.
Third of the way through this one tonight. Brewers 1, Phillies 0.
Your local cat dealer.
We go to the top half of inning number 5 from Milwaukee. Phillies and Brewers all knotted up at 1 apiece. Brewers got their run in the first on an RBI 2-out hit by Chris Carter. Phillies came back in the fourth. RBI 2-out hit from Darren Ruff. So we go to the top half of inning number 5, tied at 1 apiece. 9-1-2 against Zach Davies, who's given up a run on 6 hits through the first 4 innings of this one. The wind and the pitch. Swing and a foul. Left field side, out of play. 0-1. Hernandez singled to center his first time, then was caught stealing. Opening game of a 3-game weekend series. Brewers are off to Chicago after this and then right back home next weekend to take on the Marlins. Backdoor curve. Down low a ball, and it evens the count at a ball and a strike. Phillies, they'll be off on Monday. Then they open a series in Washington on Tuesday. Here's the wind and the 1-1. Low, 2 balls and a strike. Next weekend, it's an interleague series for the Phillies. They'll have the Indians at Citizens Bank Ballpark. And then a 10-game road trip after that. There's a strike. At the knees, Rob Drake said so. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hernandez, Herrera, Galvis for the Phillies in the 5th. And the pitch. Down low a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, the Phillies will be in St. Louis for 4, Miami for 3, and Atlanta for 3. So they are in a very tough stretch. 16 of 19 on the road. The pitch. Swung on, line drive. Down the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. It is a foul ball. Bidding and flirting with extra bases was the number 9 hitter, Hernandez. But it ends up foul down in the right field corner, and it's still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies own the hit column at 6-3. It's been an airless game to this point. Hernandez, a light-hitting middle infielder, awaiting a payoff. Here it is. Swinging a high fly ball. Behind short, VR out. The call and the catch.
Center fielder.
Hernandez gone on a shallow fly. 1 away. Lineup turns over. And here's Odubel Herrera. Center fielder is 0 for 2 in the ball game. 1 out, base is empty. Phillies 1, Brewers 1. It's been a good one. A couple of 7-9 teams. hooking up for the first time in 2016. The wind and the pitch, and it's a strike called. It's 0-1. Davies in his second start faring much better than his start back on Sunday afternoon in Pittsburgh. The wind and the pitch. Swing and a foul tip, and it's quickly 0-2. Brewers lost that game 9-3. They are currently 1-1 on the 5-game homestand. Split a 2-game series with the Twins, losing yesterday. Herrera, the left-handed hitting center fielder. 2 strikes, the pitch. Swinging a foul back to our left, out of play. Brewers won on Wednesday here against the Twins, 10-5 behind Jimmy Nelson. Twins cuffed the Brewers around a little bit yesterday afternoon, 8-1 to split that 2-game series here and split the 4 games overall with the Twins. 2 strikes, the pitch. Check swing foul to the netting by the Phillies' third base dugout. Juan Samuel coaching for the Phillies in the third base box. Mickey Morandini, the first base coach. A couple of former Phillies. Lucroy putting down the sign and the target. Zach Davies. The sidestep, the kick, and the pitch. Curveball. Past Davies, past the diving VR, and into center field. Davies had a chance, then VR had a chance. Neither able to get it, and it is a 1-out single for Odubel Herrera. Here's Freddie Galvis. He's lined to Braun in left, and he's walked. He's 0 for 1. He's got a modest 6-game hitting streak on the line. Taps the inside corner, taps the outside corner, waves his bat across the plate a couple of times. He holds it very low as he awaits the pitch from Zach Davies. Slightly open stance, deep in the box. Lucroy an outside target, and this one's ripped. It's going to be a 7-game hitting streak for Galvis. It's into the corner. Herrera's around third, being windmilled home. Here comes the throw, a headlong dive. In safely is Herrera. Galvis to third. And it's an RBI for Galvis, his 7th run batted in of the year. And it's 2-1 Philadelphia.
Next batter, third baseman.
The question is, will it be an RBI double or an RBI triple? Galvis making third either way. And they do score at a double, and he moves to third on the throw to the plate. So the Brewers with the shift on for Mekhi Franco, and that pitch is inside to Michael. 3 infielders on the left side of the infield for the Brewers. Carter, the lone infielder on the right side, splits the difference between second and first. They're all at the cut of the grass. Playing in, trying to cut the speedy Galvis. The pitch, swing and a towering drive. Deep left, Braun back at the track, at the wall. He runs out of room. It's a 2-run homer for Franco. And the Phillies have put up a 3-spot in the inning, and they lead 4-1. Talked about the power that Franco can bring to bear. And you just saw it there on a towering drive. 2-run shot. Franco's 3rd home run of the year. RBIs 6 and 7. And it's 4-1 Philadelphia. Here's Ryan Howard now. Bases empty, 4-1 Phillies. Still only 1 out in the 5th. The wind by Davies and the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, deep center. Flores going back onto the track with room in front of the wall, makes the catch. Howard retired. He's 1 out of 3 in the ball game. And here's Cameron Rupp, the catcher. Brewers got an RBI hit from Chris Carter in the first to take a 1-0 lead. Phillies tied it with 1 in the fourth. They've surged ahead with 3 here in the fifth. 2 outs, 5th inning. Phillies 4, Brewers 1. Davies wheels and deals, and it's down low for ball 1. Rupp grounded to second his first time. Last time up, in the fourth, a double and a run scored. Scored on the Darren Ruff base hit. Here's the wind and the pitch. Inside, almost hit him. It might have. It did. So Davies comes in a little too close, and it puts a runner aboard for David Lowe.
Next out, the right fielder, David Lowe.
David Lowe, 1 out of 2. A single back in the second, a strikeout in the fourth. Zach has 3 on the ball game. He's hit a batter, and he's walked 1. Swung on and fouled straight back. 0-1. 2 outs, 3 in. Runner at first, Carter holding him there. That's the catcher, Cameron Rupp. Crowd tonight should be in that 20,000 range. Nice night inside Miller Park. Changeup swung on and missed. It's 0-2 quickly on the Phillies right fielder. Phillies batting and leading here in the fifth. From the belt, Davies ready, and the pitch. Runner goes, the pitch is down low, the throw is late. So Cameron Rupp on a delayed steal on a ball in the dirt. And Cameron Rupp is in scoring position. Base hit means another run. It's 4-1 Phillies in the fifth. Davies peers in, comes set. From the belt to the plate with the 1-2. Swung on and fouled straight back. Right down in front of our broadcast booth here. Count holds it a ball in 2 strikes. Game 2 tomorrow night, 6:10 for the first pitch. Charlie Morton, Chase Anderson. Davies pitches, and it's low for a ball. That'll level the count at 2 balls in 2 strikes. Couple of right-handers tomorrow. Chase has pitched pretty well for Milwaukee, coming off of a tough outing last time out. That was that opening game in Minnesota. The stretch, Davies delivers inside, and it's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Davies about to throw pitch number 90 on the night. 2 outs in the fifth. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Davies for Lowe. Swinging a high pop fly on the infield. Jonathan Lucroy, the catcher, near home plate, makes the catch and ends the inning finally. Davies gives up 3 on the same number of hits. He strands 1. Halfway through this one tonight, the Phillies with a 4-1 lead over Milwaukee. Here come the Brewers in the bottom half of inning number 5. Phillies now leading 4-1. VR, Santana, Jeanette. For the Brewers, that's 9-1-2 in Craig Counsell's lineup. And the first pitch is taken outside for ball 1. VR walked his first and only time up. That was back in the second inning against Aaron Nola, who has a 3-run lead and with which to work now. And he delivers a little bit high to the switch-hitting Brewers shortstop. Checking into action tonight at 283. Here's the wind and the pitch by Nola. There's a strike called. Ball 2, strike 1. That's the count on the Brewers shortstop. VR, Santana, Jeanette. Brewers down 3 at 4-1. Franco in at third. The pitch to VR. Strike called. 2-2. Nola trying to win his first against 2 losses. He pitched very well in his first 2 starts. Hit off the end of the bat, foul to the Phillies' third base dugout. 2-2. Couple of strong 7-inning outings against the Reds and the Padres. The April 11th outing was against the Padres. It was the home opener for Philadelphia. Inside a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He got a no decision despite going 7 innings in that game. They lost 4-3. Holding the glove in front of his face, sights the sign and pitches. Swinging a foul back to the netting. Full count on Jonathan VR, the Brewers shortstop, leading things off for Milwaukee in the 5th. Phillies looking up at the Nationals, 3rd place in the National League East. 4.5 behind the front-running Nationals. Hit on the ground, 2 hops to third. Franco cuts it off the third baseman with a strong throw across the diamond. Retires VR for out number 1.
Right fielder, Domingo Santana.
2 away for Santana. Right-handed hitting right fielder. Has a double in 2 tries tonight. Full slate of action in Big League Baseball this evening. As we take a look at the scoreboard. Bottom of the 5th here. Phillies 4, Brewers 1. 1 out, bags clean. Brewers bat down 3. Santana was swinging for the downs. Comes up empty and it's 0-1. 91-mile-per-hour fastball up in the zone from Nola, and Santana swung very hard but came up empty. Trying for his 3rd home run of the year. The pitch. That one catches the inside corner at the knees. Good pitch from Aaron Nola. Has great variance on his pitches. Fastball in the low 90s. His changeup in the mid 70s. That'll keep a hitter off balance. That's a good discrepancy. 2 strikes as Santana fouls it back. Hitting is all about timing. Pitching is all about disrupting said timing. And changing speeds will do that. High and tight, he buzzed the tower with an 89-mile-per-hour fastball, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Had Santana bending out of the way on a 2-strike pitch that was high and tight. Nola brings home the 1-2, a swing and a miss. Nola strikes out his 5th.
Number 2, the second baseman, Scooter Jeanette.
2 outs. Here's Jeanette, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. They've gone to the bottom of the 8th in New York. The Yankees lead the Rays 4-3. The Athletics lead the Blue Jays 6-3 in Toronto. That game's in the bottom of the 8th. How about the A's just coming off of a sweep of the Yankees. Ground ball out to second. One second baseman does in another as Hernandez throws on to first. And Nola makes quick work of the Brewers. Side up, side down. We head to the sixth. Philadelphia 4, Milwaukee 1. Our game goes to the top half of inning number 6. Philadelphia 4, Milwaukee 1. Darren Ruff, Aaron Nola, Cesar Hernandez, the bottom third of the Philly lineup. Against Zach Davies here in the 6th. The wind in the pitch. Strike called, 0-1. Darren Ruff struck out against Davies back in the 2nd. RBI single in the 4th. That tied the game at 1. The pitch. Ground ball, hit on 2 hops to third. Aaron Hill fields cleanly and fires across for the out.
Next batter is the pitcher, Aaron Nola.
Ruff retired. Here comes the pitcher, Aaron Nola. A couple of ground outs for the Phillies pitcher tonight. He's 0 for 7 on the season. Scooter Gennett out in the grass in right field. Strike call at the knees, 0-1. 1 out, base is empty. Phillies lead the Brewers, it's 4-1. They've out-hit Milwaukee 9-3. The wind and the pitch. Breaking ball. Stays high, and it's 1 ball, no strike. Davies working quickly and coming back. The pitch. There's a strike. We continue with that big league scoreboard. Talked about the A's leading the Blue Jays. That game 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th. The Oakland Athletics undefeated on the road. Strike 3 called. Knee high, outside corner. Good pitch from Davies. That's strikeout number 4 for the young right-hander. 2 outs, 6th inning. Here's Cesar Hernandez.
Cesar Hernandez.
1 out of 2 for the second baseman for the Phillies. But how about the Athletics? 6-0 on the road this year. Just 3-7 at home. Strike called, and it's 0-1. A's are in second place. They're 1 game behind the Rangers in the American League West. The 1 strike home, swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch from Davies, and it's 0-2 on Hernandez. Herrera due next. Indians are leading the Tigers 2-1, bottom of the 9th at Comerica, as that pitch is sprayed foul to the seats down the left field line. 2 strikes, 2 outs. White Sox lead the Rangers 2-0, bottom of the 6th on the south side. Pitch. Strike 3 called. Couple of strikeouts at a 1-2-3 frame for Zach Davies. We're on to the bottom of the 6th in Milwaukee. Phillies 4, Brewers 1.
The community and 1 lucky.
Ryan Braun, Jonathan Lucroy, Chris Carter, 3, 4, and 5 for Milwaukee. Bottom of the 6th, 4-1 Philadelphia. Aaron Nola has settled into a very nice groove. He has set down 10 Brewers in a row now. As Bronny opens up the 6th. Brewers down 3. Nola winds and pitches, and Braun sends one in the air to center. On the run, Herrera comes in, now waiting and catching. A weak fly to center, 1 away. Braun gone on a pitch.
Jonathan Lucroy.
Here's Lucroy. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out in the 1st. He flied fairly deep right in the 3rd. Nola at 83 pitches with 1 out in the 6th. Take a look at that National League scoreboard here in a second. There's a strike called. 0-1 on Lucroy. Got a couple of scores yet in the American League to get to. Nola and Davies are dealing here in the middle part of this ballgame. Lucroy tied up, and it's quickly 0-2 as he was unable to hold. Mariners and Angels, they'll play a little bit later on. Red Sox are down in Houston, leading the Astros 5-0 in the sixth. Houston had visions of postseason play. Here's the pitch. Swung on and a little flare, and it's going to be over the outstretched glove of Hernandez. And it falls for a one-out single. Hernandez nearly got back on that ball, but it finally finds some green grass, and it's a hit for Lucroy. Here's Carter now. But the Astros, coming off of a wild card appearance last year, beat the Yankees in that one-game playoff at Yankee Stadium, then lost a great series to the Royals. Went out and made a big trade with the Phillies to acquire the Philadelphia closer last year, Ken Giles. Gave up a boatload of prospects. Strike called, 0-1. To acquire the proven closer. And it has not paid off for the Astros to this point. Houston at the bottom of the AL West. Now it's early, but they're 5-11 and already 5 games back of Texas. And Texas figures to be in it all year long, so they're digging themselves a hole. 1-1 strike on Carter. Lucroy at first. 4-1 Phillies. Bottom of the sixth. You can't win a pennant in April, but you can sure lose one. Inside a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Orioles playing in Kansas City in Middle America. Kansas City Ball Club has a 4-2 lead on Baltimore. The one interleague series, that's Twins at Nationals. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on, a hot shot, diving stab, Franco. He'll go to second for 1. The throw to first is not in time. Heck of a play by Franco on an absolute bullet off the bat of Carter. A diving stab to his left, and from his knees he was able to throw to Hernandez to force Lucroy for out number 2. Wow. Heck of a play by the young third baseman. Two outs, Carter at first, and here's Aaron Hill. First home run in a Brewer uniform a couple of nights ago against the Twins here at Miller Park. Nationals beat the Twins. That game's gone final now in the nation's capital, 8-4. Washington doubles up Minnesota. High set by Nola. And the pitch. Aaron Hill looks at a strike. It's 0-1. Hill hit into a fielder's choice in the first. He grounded to third in the fourth. He's 0 for 2. 4-9-0 for the Phillies. 1-4-0 for the Brewers. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on and fouled off the bat of Aaron Hill. And it's 0-2 on the Brewers' third baseman. In the National League, the Cubs, after the Jake Arrieta no-hitter and the 16-0 thrashing of the Reds in a game last night at Great American Ballpark, are now leading 8-1 in the 9th inning at Great American Ballpark, trying to make it 2 in a row over Cincinnati. Mets lead the Braves at 6-2 in the 7th inning down in Georgia. Dodgers 3, Rockies 2 in the 4th from Coors Field in Denver. The pitch, swing and a miss. Nola strikes out his 6th, and it's another scoreless frame for the young Phillies right-hander. 6 in the books. Phillies 4, Brewers 1. We go to inning number 7. from Miller Park in Milwaukee. Phillies lead 4-1. Craig Counsell has gone to his bullpen for the first time tonight, and he's pulled out of it a southpaw. Chris Capuano on in relief of Zach Davies here in the 7th. 4-1 Phillies. It's Herrera, Galvis, and Franco, the top three in the lineup. And Herrera runs up to bunt, missed it, and it's 0-1. Herrera, 1 out of 3 with a run scored in the ball game. Lefty-lefty matchup. There's activity in the Phillies bullpen. One of each down there. Brewers have a right-hander kicking and tossing in theirs. That one skipped up there by Capuano, and it's even at a ball and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Herrera leading things off for the Phillies in the 7th. They lead 4-1. 3-game weekend series. Phillies' only trip to Miller Park this year. They were swept here last August. Capuano works from the middle of the slab. Sidestep, the kick, and the pitch. It's just off the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. .6:10 tomorrow, 1:10 on Sunday to wrap up the homestand. There's a strike called, and that'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Capuano tonight in appearance number 8. He's worked 10 innings. He's given up 12 hits. Control's been a little bit of an issue for Cappy. 6 walks in those 10 innings. He has struck out 9. Lefty-lefty matchup to open the 7th. And that one just off the outside corner. Full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A respectable 3.60 ERA for Capuano. Here's the wind and the payoff. Swung on, worm burner. Out to the second baseman, Scooter Gennett. He has it, sidearms over to first. And Herrera is out number 1. Phillies center fielder out number 1. Here comes the shortstop, Freddie Galvis.
Shortstop, Freddie Galvis, 13.
Galvis in the ball game. RBI double, a run scored in 2 tries. He's also walked. Corners are up, middle infielders are back. The outfield is shallow. The wind and the pitch from Capuano. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Capuano ready to go to work here. Base is empty, 1 out. The wind and the pitch from the left-hander. He held up in time. And it's a ball and a strike now. Capuano, born in Springfield, Massachusetts. Calls Scottsdale, Arizona home now. Last year with the Yankees. In his second stint with Milwaukee. Here's the pitch. Inside a ball. 2 balls and a strike. On the switch hitting shortstop. Batting from the right side for the first time tonight. Holds the bat down on the end. A very pronounced open stance. And the pitch. Inside a ball. 3 balls and a strike. Capuano 6'2", 225 pounds. Wheels and deals. 3-1. Swung on a rocket foul to the seats down the left field line. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Capuano will be 38 years old in August. Veteran left-hander. It's a nice player to have on your ball club. Guy who has been through it all. Come back from a couple of Tommy John surgeries. Half swing strike. He went around. And Capuano strikes out Galvis. 2 up and 2 down. And here comes Michael Franco. Third baseman has had a very productive night offensively. Couple of hits, couple of RBIs. Run scored. Hit his 3rd home run of the year back in the 5th. That capped a 3-run 5th, and right now that's the difference in the game. Be careful with this guy. Ryan Howard lurking in the on-deck circle. Franco probably the Phillies' best hitter at the moment. Numbers don't reflect that, but he'll hit for an average. He's got tremendous power, and he looks at a strike on the outside corner at the knees. It's 0-1. Hitting just .262. Hands down very low. Wiggles that bat a couple of times. Capuano rocks and fires, and it's high and wide. 1 ball, 1 strike to Franco. Finishing the rundown of the scoreboard. Gave you the American League scores. About halfway through the National League scores. Swung on and a high fly. Deep left. He might have hit another. Way back. This one is gone over the Brewer bullpen. And it's a home run for Franco. Told you about his power. Probably the best hitter in this lineup. And he has had a coming out party here tonight. A couple of home runs. 3 RBIs, and the Phillies lead 5-1.
Next batter is the first baseman, Ryan Howard.
He had a multi-homer game at Yankee Stadium last year in June. Shortly after getting the call-up. A few weeks after getting the call-up or so. He's got prodigious power. He's an average third baseman, but he's got great power. Here's Howard. The shift is on, and Capuano delivers a breaking ball strike. 5-1 Phillies in the 7th. Michael Franco by himself has delivered most of the damage. Lefty-lefty matchup. Capuano delivers, and this is a hot shot. Diving stab by VR. Gets to his feet and throws out Howard. The only infielder on the left side, and he makes a diving stab to throw out Howard on a bullet up the middle. Nicely done by the Brewers shortstop. And the inning is over, but the Phillies tack on another on the Franco home run. 7th inning stretch time in Milwaukee. Phillies 5 and the Brewers 1.
And roll out the Bears.
Brewers coming to bat here in the home half of inning number 7. Phillies lead Milwaukee 5-1 now. It's been the Michael Franco show tonight. Couple of home runs, 3 RBIs. The wind and the pitch by Aaron Nola, and it's a strike. It's 0-1. Flores, the pitcher spot in VR. Due up here for Milwaukee in the 7th. The wind and the pitch. Swung on and a line drive, center field. Right in the tracks of Herrera. And one center fielder does in the other, and it's 1 up and 1 down in the 7th.
Hitting for the pitcher, Chris Capuano. Number 7, Colin Walsh.
So Capuano is done as Colin Walsh is on to pinch hit here in the 7th inning. The wind by Nola, the pitch to Walsh. Swinging a foul back. Walsh is a switch hitter. He's up there left-handed against the right-handed slants of Nola. Walsh, 5 hits and a 152 average as he looks at a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. They play Walsh straight up on the infield. Hitting room in right center and down the right field line for Walsh as they play him to the off field. Backdoor curve stays away, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Walsh. Rule 5 pickup from the Oakland Athletics. Nola from the first base side delivers. Off the outside corner, and it's 3 balls and a strike. The thing that attracted the Brewers to Walsh was his on-base percentage. The way he was able to work counts. It's kind of the Oakland A's way, isn't it? 3-1, Nola for Walsh. There's a strike. It's 3-2. Nola in control. He's given up 1 run on 4 hits. The pitch. Strike 3 called. Walsh didn't like the call, but he's out on strikes. And it's the 6th for Nola tonight. Two outs, and here's the Brewers shortstop, Jonathan Villar. Brewers down. They've got some work to do.
The shortstop.
Down 5-1. They only have 4 hits against the Phillies starter. Outside ball 1 to Villar. Villar walked, was stranded at third in the 2nd, and he grounded to the third baseman Franco his last time up. There's a strike call. That'll even the count at a ball, then a strike. This day traditionally has been a good offensive day for the Brewers. It was on this date 6 years ago that the Brewers shut out the Pirates 20-0. Yeah, 20. 20-0. Back in 2010 at PNC Park. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Little dribbler out in front of the mound, picked up by Nola. He'll throw to first and end the inning. Brewers also, back on this date in 2006, hit 5 home runs in 1 inning. Bill Hall, Damian Miller, Brady Clark, J.J. Hardy, and Prince Fielder. All in the bottom of the 4th here at Miller Park against the Reds. No such thing so far tonight. Through 7, 5-1, Phillies. Our game moves to the top half of inning number 8. Philadelphia 5, Milwaukee 1. Cameron Rupp, David Lowe, Darren Ruff. 5, 6, and 7 in the Phillies lineup against the new pitcher for the Brewers, Blaine Boyer. And the right-hander comes home with his first pitch, and it's low and away for ball 1. Cameron Rupp doubled and scored in the 4th. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th. He's also grounded to second. Good, healthy cut, and he follows a 90-mile-per-hour fastball by Blaine Boyer straight back into the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Phillies catcher. Brewers once again putting the shift on. 3 infielders on the left side. Boyer the stretch, Boyer the pitch. And it's low for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Boyer last year with the Twins. He'll be 35 in July. The pitch. Off the outside corner, 3-1. Tonight, appearance number 7 for Boyer. He's yet to win or lose and has an ERA of 2.84. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Boyer from the third base side pitches, and it's fouled straight back, 3-2. In 6 games, Boyer's worked 6 1/3, 8 hits, a couple of runs earned. He's walked 3, hasn't struck out a batter yet. Boyer sets, and the payoff to Rupp. Swinging a foul, right side. This one's going to reach the seats behind the Brewers' first base dugout. We'll do the 3-2 one more time. Phillies have out-hit the Brewers 10-4. They lead 5-1. Each team has stranded 5 runners. It's been an errorless game. The set by Boyer, the leg kick and the pitch. Swinging a ground ball to Scooter Gennett behind second. He'll throw on to first to get the Phillies catcher for out number 1. 4-3, 1 away. Here's David Lowe, the right fielder.
David Lowe.
Boyer last work a couple of nights ago here at Miller Park. Series opener against the Twins. He worked 1 inning in that game. It was a perfect 8th inning for Boyer in the Brewers' victory over Minnesota back on Wednesday night. Here's the set and the pitch. It's outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Boyer pitched really well out in Arizona. Earned his way onto this roster as a non-roster invitee. Swinging a high pop fly on the infield. Aaron Hill, the third baseman, makes a 2-handed grab for out number 2. 2 outs. Here's Darren Ruff.
Next batter is the first baseman, Darren Ruff.
Ruff, the right-handed batter. 2 outs, base is empty. Phillies 5, Brewers 1. Opening game of this 3-game series. The pitch. Inside a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies trying to snap a 7-game losing streak to the Brewers. Phillies still own the all-time series as Ruff swings and misses through that 93-mile-per-hour fastball by Blaine Boyer. 68 and 57 are the Phillies all-time. The high set and the 1-1 home. Swinging a ground ball. Hit right into the shift again. Scooter Gennett behind second. Throws to first. And it's a side up and side down inning for Blaine Boyer and the Brewers. Blaine's first one's a perfect one. On to the bottom of the 8th. Phillies 5, Brewers 1.
Time to get out of your seats and jump around.
Brewers are coming to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 8. Phillies 5 and the Brewers 1. Good news for the Brewers. Good news and bad news. The bad news is they're down 4. The good news is Aaron Nola has been pulled from the game. Nola lifted after 7 strong innings. He gave up a run on 4 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 6. Santana leading things off for the Brewers against Hector Neris, a right-hander. Neris has done a heck of a job for Pete McCannon out of the bullpen. Swinging a foul by Santana, right side out of play. And there's 2 quick strikes on Santana. Santana, Gennett, Braun. Top 3 in the Brewer lineup. Bottom of the 8th. Brewers down 4. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball. Pulled foul past third. Still 0-2. Neris, 6'2", 215-pound right-hander. He'll be 27 in a little over a month. From the belt to the plate, the pitch, a swing and a miss. Fooled him on an off-speed pitch, and Neris strikes out Santana to open the bottom of the eighth. Here's Jeanette, who has scored the lone Brewer run. That was way back in the first. Walked and scored on the Carter hit. Since then, he's popped to short and he's grounded to second. Phillies play him to the off field. So a lot of hitting room in right center for Scooter. Infield is straight up. Maikel Franco is even with the bag, 10 feet off the line at third. Neris works from the first base side of the rubber, and he delivers high and wide for ball one. 93-mile-per-hour fastball from the Philly right-hander. Neris, in his 9th outing, has yet to allow an earned run. He hasn't won or lost yet. 9 1/3 innings. 15 strikeouts and a couple of walks. Swing and a miss by Scooter. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braun lurking in the on-deck circle. 5-1 Phillies in the 8th. I'm sure it will be a 1-inning outing for Neris. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Had Scooter out in front, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. It's not a save situation. 5-1. Gomez is the Phillies' closer at the moment. Swing and a miss. And Jeanette is quickly disposed of.
Left fielder, Ryan Braun.
2 up and 2 down on a pair of strikeouts from Neris. Told you, he's been impressive out of the Phillies bullpen. They blew a couple of games in Cincinnati, but now they are really settling into their roles in the back end of the Philly bullpen, which at the beginning of the season, 3 weeks ago, was their undoing, has sort of become their strength. Gomez has settled in nicely in that closer role. Hinojosa was the closer to start the season. He blew a couple of saves. And now that they've kind of settled on roles, Philly back into the bullpen's been pretty strong of late. 1-0 on Braun, 2 away in the 8th. Phillies 5, Brewers 1 in the pitch. Down low a ball. And it's 2-0. Yeah, 8 innings, 9 1/3 innings pitched. 16 strikeouts entering play. Neris has been a tough customer. 2-0, the pitch to Braun. And it's down low and it's 3-0. Neris last pitched back on Wednesday in that victory over the Mets. He went 2 2/3. He struck out 6. The pitch. There's a strike. Braun was taking all the way at 3-0, and now it's 3-1. Neris, no reliever in the National League has more strikeouts. The pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 3-2. Came in with 15. He's got a couple of more in this outing already. So he now has 17 to add to the total. 14 1/3 scoreless streak for him. He's put up some pretty impressive numbers. Only walked 2 of the 119 right-handed batters he's faced in his career. Make it 3 as he walks Braun right on cue, and the Brewers have a 2-out base runner. Keeps the inning alive and extends it for the Brewer catcher, Jonathan Lucroy. Neris Morris was on the opening day roster for the Phillies this year in Cincinnati. It's the first opening day roster of his career. Signed by the Phillies as a free agent back in 2010 out of the Dominican Republic. And he delivers a ball in too close on the Brewers catcher. 1-0. Braun, the runner at first, held by Howard. Lucroy 1 out of 3 in the ball game. The stretch and the pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop. Galvis has got it down to a knee. He'll throw it to the second baseman Hernandez to force Braun and end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 walk, 1 left to the 9th. Phillies 5 and the Brewers 1.
And Sargento invites real cheese people to get up and dance. Now show off.
We go to the 9th inning for Miller Park in Milwaukee. Phillies 5 and the Brewers 1. 5-10-0 for the Phillies. 1-4-0 for the Brewers. The pitcher spot due up here in the 9th. It's a pinch hitter for the Phillies. The stretch and the pitch. And Andres Blanco takes ball 1 away. 1 ball, no strikes. Blaine Boyer worked a scoreless 8th. He's on here in the 9th, and he pitches. Swinging a pop fly foul. This one will reach the seats. 23,439 paid to see this one tonight. Opener of a 3-game weekend series. Brewers and Phillies. Aaron Hill, even with the bag at third. Middle infielders are back. Carter back behind the bag at first. And there's a strike call. Andres Blanco in limited action, 333. No homers, 3 RBIs. He's a switch hitter up there left-handed against the right-handed offerings of Blaine Boyer. The outfield shallow. Blanco doesn't have a lot of power, and the outfield reflects that with how they play him. Swinging a foul back. That one will reach the seats. Ball 1, strike 2. Flores in center is a couple of steps to left. Santana is straight away and right. Braun straight away and left. Boyer reading signs. The right-hander comes set. And from the high set, the leg kick, the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So it's 4 up and 4 down for Blaine Boyer. The veteran right-hander doing a nice job for the Brewers out of the bullpen. 1 away, here's Hernandez. 8-9-1 against Boyer in the 9th. The Phillies lead 5-1. Davies went the first 6. Capuano pitched the 7th. And Boyer trying to finish it off innings 8 and 9. A ball down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Hernandez 1 out of 3 in the ball game. He singled his first time back in the 3rd. He has since popped to short, and he took a called 3rd strike against Zach Davies to finish the 6th. Switch hitter up there left-handed, and it's high and wide for ball 2. 2-0. 1 out, base is empty. Phillies 5, Brewers 1. There is right-handed activity for the Phillies in their bullpen. Can't tell who it is from here, but it's probably Giles. That one missed in too close, and it's 3-0. Three and 0 the count. 1 out. Herrera will bat next. The pitch. There's a strike. And it's 3-1. Phillies batting in the 9th. Looking to add to a 4-run lead. It's 5-1. Boyer stretching and pitching. Swung on in a slicing liner that's going to reach the seats about 8 rows back down the left field line behind the tarp down there. Boyer trying to come back. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nola started for the Phillies. He went 7 strong. Neris worked a scoreless 8th inning. Swinging a bouncer. Stabbed by Boyer beautifully. And he'll flip it to Carter for the out. Boy, when you can field your position well and become that 5th infielder, you really help yourself. And Boyer, on a one-hop smash back to the box, fielded it very nicely and flipped it to Carter for out number 2.
Center fielder, Odubel Herrera.
2 outs, lineup turns over, and it's Herrera. 1 out of 4 with a run scored tonight for the Phillies center fielder. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on, slicing liner, foul down the left field line. 0-1. Chase Anderson, Charlie Morton. Game 2, 6:10 tomorrow night, Miller Park. And then the setting on Sunday, 1:10, Miller Park. Willie Peralta, Jared Eichhoff. The pitch, broken back ground ball to Mickey Morandini, the first base coach. He'll flip it into the stands for a souvenir. 2 strikes. Herrera will have to get a new bat. Boyer has set down all 5 Phillies he's faced. Trying to take the opener, 5-1 they lead. Brewers will be in Philadelphia the first week of June for their first and only trip to Citizens Bank Ballpark. Roof and panels have been closed from the get-go here on a cool night in Milwaukee. 23,439 came out to see it. Right now, Nola's in line for his first victory of the year. Davies would fall to 0-2. Boyer delivers away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Brewers in the 9th will have Carter, Hill, and Flores scheduled. That's 5, 6, and 7 in their lineup. Boyer the set and the pitch. Off the outside corner. And the count is even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Phillies batting and leading. 9th inning, 5-1. Last chance for the Crew. It's 5-1 Philadelphia. Brewers struck first in this ball game. They scored 1 in the first on an RBI 2-out hit by Chris Carter. That's been it. They've been shut out ever since. Phillies put 1 up in the 4th, 3 up in the 5th, and 1 more in the 7th, and they lead 5-1. Carter, Hill, Flores for the Brewers in the bottom of the 9th, down 4. And they'll have to do battle with the Philly closer, Jonmar Gomez. And his first pitch is down low for ball 1. Carter with the RBI base hit back in the first inning. He's 1 out of 3. Righty-righty matchup. 3 infielders on the left side for Carter. And the pitch. And it's a bullet down the left field line towards the corner. Extra bases for Carter. Ruff will dig it out. And Carter will walk into second with a cruise control leadoff double. There's a start.
With that extra base hit, a $100 gift will be made to Make-A-Wish, Wisconsin, courtesy of Apple.
Carter's been one of the better extra base hit guys in the big leagues.
Aaron Hill.
He's got a bunch of them. He's got 1 today. He came in tied for 6th in the National League with 9, so that's number 10. Came in tied for 6th in RBIs, and he added to that total tonight. Here's Aaron Hill, and he looks at a ball away. 1 ball, no strikes from Gomez. Yeah, he's in the top 10 in doubles and home runs and RBIs and extra base hits. Doesn't have a high average, but he's made them count. He's out at second, and Aaron Hill lines one. Left center on the run is Herrera. He won't get it. It's to the wall. Carter will turn third. He will score on an RBI double from Aaron Hill, and it's 5-2. So back-to-back doubles to open the ninth, and the bottom half of the Brewer lineup produces the second run of the night. Rupp up for a couple of quick words with Gomez. Gomez, 6'3", 220-pound right-hander. 28 years of age. Checks Hill and delivers. And the pitch to Flores is strike one at the knees. Brewers center fielder is 0 for 3 in the ball game. 1 in, 1 on, nobody out. 5-2 Phillies, bottom of the ninth. From the belt to the plate, and this is hit foul behind the Phillies' third base dugout. Gomez came in with an ERA of 2. He's 2-0 on the year. This is his 8th appearance. He does have 4 saves. Pretty good numbers. National League hitting a .182 against him. 8 strikeouts against 3 walks. Here's the stretch and the 2-strike. Swung on in a soft line drive right at Freddie Galvis, and he makes the catch right out the cut of the outfield grass. Soft line drive to the shortstop. Flores retired. And here's Alex Presley. One in, 1 on, 1 out. Going over the scouting report for Alex Presley. Presley just called up by the Brewers. Keon Broxton was sent down to Colorado Springs. And Presley was brought up yesterday, and he singled as a pinch hitter in his debut. Another non-roster invitee. Didn't make it out of spring training, but here he is. Just a little more than 3 weeks into the season, and he's already up in the big leagues. Conference at the mound over. Franco at the cut of the grass at third. Rest of the infielders are back. The outfield shallow, and they play Presley the other way, and he swings and misses at a 91-mile-per-hour fastball from Gomez. John Mar Gomez pitching here in the ninth. It started with Nola. Neris pitched the scoreless 8th, and Gomez is on here in the ninth. For the Brewers, Davies, Capuano, Boyer. Nola would be the winner. It would be his first of the year. The pitch, and it's a strike called. It's 0-2. Davies, barring a Brewer rally, would fall to 0-2. Gomez worked in that victory a couple of days ago in Philadelphia against the Mets. And he delivers high for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gomez worked a couple of frames in that one. He's 4 for 4 in save opportunities. There's a pitch off the outside corner, and it's even at 2-2. Aaron Hill, RBI double to the gap in left center. He's out at second. 5-2 Phillies. Brewers showing some life here in the ninth on back-to-back doubles from Carter and Hill. VR waits patiently on deck in the 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground on the right side. Backhanded by Howard. He'll flip it to first. Gomez covering for the out. Brewers are down to their final out. Two outs, and it's up to VR. Aaron Hill moving up to third on the play. 5-2 Phillies. Brewers have pushed one across here in the ninth. Last hope for the Brewers. The switch-hitting shortstop, Jonathan VR. Gomez trying to finish it off. Opening game of a 3-game series. Brewers and Phillies, couple of 7-9 clubs. Broken bat, ground ball, out to second, weakly hit. Hernandez to the first baseman. And the inning and ball game is over. VR gone, so are the Brewers. They get a run on a couple of hits. They strand one. The final tonight from Miller Park in Milwaukee. Phillies take the opener. The final, Philadelphia 5 and the Brewers 2.